This is a 4 terabyte Western Digital Black Label hard drive, rated for the most intense use by gamers and creative professionals on a regular basis. I bought it back in 2015 for my old PC, long before I started streaming, and I've used it over the past 5 years to store tons of valuable personal and professional project files. This hard drive died yesterday. Can we get a RIP in the comments? Fortunately, I do have backups of almost everything important in the cloud. Keyword being almost. Ugh. But I've made the fatal mistake in the past where I didn't, and I had to pay a hefty $800 fee to send my hard drive off to a clean room lab to have my data recovered. Data recovery is not cheap. So this is 100% a public service announcement that if you're not backing up your data, you need to do it now. Not tomorrow, not next month, not whenever you can get around to it. Now. Hard disk drives are constructed from tons of tiny moving parts, and they are extremely fragile. They can and will fail at any time. It's honestly beyond impressive that they last as long as they tend to. So just for some fun, anecdotal evidence, both times that my hard drive has failed in the past, there were absolutely no symptoms. This time specifically, everything was working 100% fine. A Steam install got stuck at 99%. I restarted my PC, and that was it. It just flat out wouldn't boot. I couldn't even get it to boot from a Windows 10 install media jump drive that was confirmed working on another computer. It just kept getting stuck at the motherboard splash screen. Through hours of troubleshooting, I unplugged just about everything from my motherboard, and it started booting again. So at that point, I started plugging things in one at a time and rebooting until I found what broke it. It turned out that my hard drive was the culprit. It just flat out didn't work anymore. It still spun, it didn't make any funny noises, it just didn't work anymore. Again, no prior symptoms, it just died. I can't even access the files from a SATA to USB 3 converter. I've tried 2 of them. So if your data doesn't exist in at least 2 different locations, and obviously not 2 locations on the same hard drive, then you're putting yourself at a huge risk of just randomly losing all of your data at any point in time. Now, in terms of recommendations, there are a couple different routes you can take. For one, you could go out and buy just a massive external hard drive and back everything up manually. It's tedious, but it's effective and very safe. And the other option is to use a cloud backup service. Now, I personally use Carbonite, and it's been relatively painless to recover all of the files that I did have backed up. But there are plenty of options available with a quick Google search. Unfortunately, I was under the impression that I installed the Carbonite client and it backed everything up automatically. That was not the case. By default, it left everything out of the backup except for the documents folder on that hard drive, which did have most of my important work and project stuff, but I lost a bunch of personal files with sentimental value from throughout the years. So now I'm at a point where I have to decide whether I spend several $100s to recover that data or just let it go. I'm leaning towards the prior, but both options suck. So if you do go the cloud route, just be extra careful that you know exactly what's being backed up. But otherwise, Carbonite has really easy to use tools and reasonable prices. And that's pretty much the video. It's not the video I wanted to make this week, but just back up your data. Please back up your data. You don't want to be in a position where you have to learn from your own stupid mistakes. Learn from mine. Back up your data. Do it. Back it up. Please back it up. Please back up your data. Do it for me. Just back up your data. Don't be dumb. Back it up. Back it up. Back up your data. Please back up your data. Please back up your data.